Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, peoples.
It's good to be back. Season 3? Season 3, Incubator's Couch. We're super excited to be with you guys tonight. I wanted to do this. Let me see if I can do this. That's the chair our guest is supposed to be in. That chair. No guest. No guest.
I don't know what's going on, but we're going to work it out.
We're going to work it out. And you know what? The truth is, our old format worked better for us anyway.
It just worked better with people's schedules. So we might have to
just make that switcheroo and see what happens there. But we're excited to have you guys with us. Deborah Brewer, I see you in the chat already saying, Deborah. Hey, fam, what's going on with you? Thank you so much for being with us. One of our faithful. Truly appreciate you coming and hanging out. For those of you that didn't get a chance to catch the video that we did, the cycle of business, it is on the channel. It's about 8-9 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, not long.
Bite size. It really walks you through some of the cycle of business. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's actually getting some organic views, which is pretty dope. So we're excited about that. That's a new thing for us this season, not just doing the live shows and the podcast. We're also going to be doing content that is specifically designed with the content. Well, I'm so stuck on saying content creator with the entrepreneur and small business owner in mind. So make sure you check out some of the things.
Yeah, we plan to do a little more, some different things. So keep an eye out for that. Absolutely. Let me grab this and see if there's any comments real quick while we can. So I just wanted to shout out Deborah. I want to say thank you for being one of our faithful. I see 3-4 of you that are watching right now, man. If you want to tag a friend, let them know that Incubator's Couch has begun. We'd love to have you come and hang out with us, whether live or on replay. It is definitely something that we are interested in making sure we make available to a number of people as we get into our show tonight, hoping to keep it somewhat brief. It should not be long. We do have quite a few points.
We have a lot of points, and that's the challenge.
Bear with us. We're gonna try and wrap it up.
We're going to try. We're going to make an effort, but we are on the couch. I did want to say that.
We
are on the couch. Like, this is, let me move to the side. This is the couch. We're on the couch.
Not at the table.
Not at the table.
On the couch.
Yeah, somebody watched that. I don't want to say who the name is because they may or may not be in the chat, but somebody said, I watched the video that you and Kanik did for Incubator's Couch, but you guys were at the table.
I know.
And I was like, I guess. Yeah, we were at the table. But I mean, hey,
we
that's
got a couch now.
But we everything is set and ready. I mean, literally, if you guys could see, I don't know if that's going to work. There we go.
Look.
Yeah, see, we've got a whole setup here, and we're trying to make it work for us. It is the shots, the angles, and all the things have been interesting to dial in.
Yes.
But this is in such a great analogy for what we're going to be talking about tonight. As you go through the processes of business, the cycle of running a business, there are things that you fine tune. There are things that you are able to tweak and innovate and hopefully tighten up so that you can yield a better product, or better yet, so that you're not shocked by some of the things that happen in the process of doing business. But before we dive into that, we'll want to talk through a couple of different things. Let us know how your week has been. How has business been going for you? Let us know that in the chat.
Definitely.
This is still a space for you to get your woosah on, right? So if you have had a difficult time, or if you're just riding on the high places of life, feasting on the inheritance of Abraham,
share that with us, because we would love to hear that. We'd love to know what's going on in your world.
Listen, I would love to borrow from you. Now, God has been good to us as well, and so business has been good. Clients have been good, generally for the most part. And we've had some fairly interesting and long-term engagements as well.
That's true. We have.
Longer projects with multi-level deliverables. I've got a client right now that we did the website, we did the landing page, we did the conference registration, the offer pages,
and we're actually going to do the actual streaming,
producing
the
virtual portion of the conference. Like that's a long engagement, much longer than we're used to.
Yeah. And we're going to actually kind of chronicle that when I redesign the website. So that's coming.
That too. Not just chronicle that, but this is a great, another great example of what we're going to be talking about tonight. But it's one of those things where it's like, the one class you have to pace yourself, because it's like when we put the whole quote out there, we put together the entire scope of work. You don't think to yourself like, this is over 4 or 5 month period. I'm like,
it's gonna be a little minute.
Usually I turn it around in 2 to 3 weeks, deliver that bad boy, and I'm done. But this is a totally different engagement. So and it's been a lot of fun.
And we're excited about it because it's different, but it's what we love to do. So
absolutely,
it's still fun. So,
and it definitely encompasses the entire business, right? So it's not just what I do in terms of the video aspects. Yeah, it's been really good. It's been really good. So I say that to say it's well, hold on. We do have a comment. Let me get the comment up here. Deborah says, it's been up and down. I'm grateful, but ready to scale up my business. Hey, that is that's a buzzword right there.
That's good.
That's a buzzword. She said, I'm ready to scale up.
I love that. That's good to hear, Deborah. That's good.
Deborah, you're on your thing tonight, man. And I'm loving it. That is absolutely awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So you're going to scale up your business. Hey, listen, there's no way to go but up, in my opinion, right? No way to go but up. It's going to be big. Okay. Just a shout out to Pastor Mike Jr. Anyway, what I want to dive into what we're going to get into, but I also wanted to kind of give us an opportunity to have a bit of a rant as well tonight. We don't have the bumper video for the Host Rant or the resource of the week, even though we do have both. But I did want to just kind of share one little pet peeve of mine that surfaces from time to time.
Okay, do tell, because I would love to hear what this is.
Well, it's something that we've been dealing with on my channel for quite some time in the Coaching Corner, and it is. I'm going to use the proper term first, but then I'm going to talk about how it manifests itself in a client business relationship. Okay. So the proper term is limiting beliefs. Okay. That's the proper term. That's the, the Webster's term. That's the, 400 level course term is limiting beliefs.
Okay.
And what people do with limiting beliefs is that they allow it to keep them shackled.
Okay.
But if that's all they did, I wouldn't even be talking about it, because that's on them. It's not on me. The reason why I'm talking about it is because when somebody has an undiagnosed limiting belief,
undiagnosed, okay,
right, meaning they haven't accepted that this is a limiting belief.
Okay,
they will impose that belief on you. And so in a client engagement, I'll get a phrase like, oh no, well, I mean, that's not something that you would do, right? I mean, no, that we can't do that. Let's not do that part. And I'm like, why not? Oh, no, I was just going to do this and this and this. It's similar to what we're going to be talking about tonight. When you're looking at when we're going through the process of, even today, going through the process of setting something up for someone, and you're saying, okay, so what about this part? No, I'm not doing that. I'm like, but this is a partner to, if you're offering this, you've got to offer this. I mean, it goes hand in hand. Plus, you're good at this. Oh no, I'm not. And now, instead of just accepting that this is something that they don't want to do right now, maybe they're not ready to do, maybe I'm just not 100% there, they will say to you that it is indeed an incorrect thing to even want to do that. Oh no, that's in business. You should never do that. What are you talking about? When you own your own business, I want to say this to the family out there: you are free. You are free to create the offer the way that you want to create it. Yes. You are free to package it in the way that puts you in your best light and allows you to work from your sphere of excellence and genius. That's the term I was looking for. In your sphere of genius. And you actually need to look for ways to package your genius in that light. And so when I'm chatting with clients and they share with me that these things are Well, they don't even look at them as limiting beliefs, but they share with me that these are things that they have that have shackled them. Mm-hmm. They don't even recognize that they're telling on themselves. Number one. Number two, they don't even realize that they are also shackling anybody that serves them. So we all have to get in that box with them in order to serve them, because we have to play in their playground. And that is a challenge sometimes for me. And in fact, I've had this happen before, and the client came back because they saw something I did for another client similar to them, and they were like, man, I didn't think that would work out that well.
Okay.
Oh my word.
That's why you got to leave it up to creatives. Like, just give them the full picture, and then we will tell you what's possible.
This person went as far as to say to the current client, he told me to do that thing, and I just didn't even think it was possible.
Oh my gosh. Come on, y'all.
Man, that really worked out for you. And it's like you're sitting there, this other person just like, boom, everything is working now. And you're just like, man, I missed out on the opportunity. So and yet even in that moment, they still don't know that this is their own limiting belief. I just decided to go a different way. No, you shackled us from actually doing our best work. And that's another thing about, bringing somebody into your sphere, bringing somebody into your ecosystem. One of our resources of the week, I don't know if you're going to touch it, is Upwork. But when you bring people in, you kind of have to, if you have a star player, you got to let the star player do star player things. Yes. That means sometimes you're going to have to give them a little latitude to do some things that are a little outside of the box, because that's what a star player does. Yeah. So that's my rant for today. And yes. I see Deborah Brewer is agreeing with me in the chat. If she agrees with me, then all is right with the world. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm feeling good about myself. 4 of you guys are on the live, and we just want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you. Somebody even touched that like button. Can't thank you enough. And if you're watching this live with us right now, drop us a comment in the chat. If you're watching on replay, put something down below.
Yeah, and we will comment. We will respond.
Oh, we will.
For sure.
Oh, yes, we will. All right, what you got?
So what are we talking about today, y'all?
What are we talking about?
Are you going to bring up the slides?
I wasn't sure if you were ready for it.
I'm ready, because we need to get into it. So what we are talking about is process makes progress, y'all.
Ooh.
So there is a myth out there, y'all, that you just set it and forget it. That myth is not good when you are running a business. Like,
come on,
you have got to be constantly tweaking that business, like seeing what's working, seeing what's not, and you can't just leave it, because it will crash and burn.
Continuous improvement. Yo, hold up. We got like 2 long comments on here.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get one of these comments. I can't get the last
other one. Okay.
So let me just read it.
Sure.
She says, that bothers me sometimes, because I told you, the client, but they go somewhere else and come back to you telling you about their frustration. But if they had just listened to me, you would have saved. See, I couldn't agree with you more, and I'm feeling a little triggered as you share that. You could have saved money and could have helped you when I first mentioned it. Come on, Deborah, you're right in there with us tonight, and I appreciate you for co-signing on that joint. I think it's as we have these discussions, as we share with one another, that's where we are able to recognize I'm not crazy in my thinking. This is something that has happened to others as well, and even if it's a different client, at least you know that this is something that you can look out for, and you don't have to feel crazy for feeling. So I feel validated, sis. I want to say a word of thanks to you for jumping in there. But this is the reason. Come on, talk about it. But this is the reason why you can't set it and forget it. This is, if now that I know that limiting beliefs is a real thing for clients, and it's something that I would like to avoid going forward. Now I can actually plan for it, have a strategy when I see that thing creeping up. And that's what we're getting into tonight. Updating your workflow after every project.
Come on. So let's see what we got over here. So when you go through a project with a client, I know for me, something is always highlighted that I'm like, okay, maybe I should have not have done that. Or like, oh, that worked so well. Let me make sure I do that again.
Yeah.
So then I guess you can go to the next slide. Like, you have got to reflect on every project that you complete just to see what worked really well.
Yes.
And then see what might not have worked so well.
Yeah.
Because that just keeps you on the top of your game.
Yeah. Listen.
It absolutely does.
Yeah. I did a session with a client today, a session that I don't normally do. We call it a working session. So instead of her sending me the copy and the different things for me to just kind of work on it on my own, which, full disclosure, does not work for me, because I will put that mug off and just procrastinate until it actually has to be done. But because we were together in the Zoom room with the screen shared, physically working on that thing, I was like, oh, this works.
It does work.
Everything that the little back and forth questions that would have taken days, she was able to answer right then and there. And there wasn't a need to explain why I need that thing, because she could physically see it on the screen. Like, oh, you need.
Yeah.
Because as I'm pulling up the template, she recognizes, oh, I haven't given you any of this. Okay, give me a second. And so we're working back and forth. And so I was like, this is something that works. I made a note of that joint.
I really like that. And I've never thought about that.
Because so in one of my, I have this group that I meet with on Wednesdays. We call it the Teachers Lounge. It's it's 4 content creators that meet together just to kind of help one another out, engage with one another. Again, similar to this space, allows us not to feel like we're going crazy. But one of the things they talked to me about was, you should do, they were sharing with me, there's another creator who has whole day sessions that's like $2,700, and half day sessions. And
what happens?
So in that session, the client can pay for a whole day, $2,750.
Yeah.
And I will just work on whatever with them. I was like, oh, and in my mind, I couldn't quite figure out how that could work. But today's session,
I get it.
I was like, I could see this being solid gold.
I don't want to get too off topic, so I'm not even we will talk about that more later, that because
could be solid
now things
gold.
is like in my head of how we could possibly do that, but we can talk about that later. But if you go to the next slide.
In the next slide.
Because we don't want to be carrying too long.
Listen, it's a cycle. You got to learn.
Oh, wait, really? That's next? I thought there was another one before that. I guess not. My bad.
Oh,
so
okay.
Before we even got into that, what we were going to say was, you want to see if there were any delays, any confusions from the discovery phase all the way through to the launch of whatever that project is.
What did not go well.
Yes.
Right.
And you also want to see like client satisfaction.
Oh, Deborah
saying something.
Deborah says she's done I've done half VIP day. She says they call them VIP days or day rate days. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm about to put that on the website right now. But I would want to vet it though. I would want to, because I think the reason why it works so well today is I already had the logins and passwords.
Yes.
I already had all the things. So I didn't have to wait to gather.
Okay.
We knew we had a pre-meeting last week. And so we knew exactly what we were going to do in the working session today. Okay. And it wasn't a half day. It was maybe more like 2 hours, but we got a ton of work done, and I want to thank you, Deborah,
That's really cool.
for letting us know.
I might need to talk to you about that, Deborah.
Your girl,
to see how you put that in.
Your girl, Monica Montgomery's in the chat. What's good, sis?
Hey, Monica.
I see you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Always good to have you come and hang out with us. I tried to hit add last comment, but I don't see nothing coming up.
I see it. It's on there, but it's on the wrong.
Oh,
it's
I
in
see
the
it now.
Oh,
okay. Let me hide that.
You're gonna have to hide that.
But yes, Monica, thank you so much for being with us today. But I promise you, we're on a roll right here, talking about reflection and review in the process of working with a client, and what went well, what didn't go well.
Yes,
that's a critical piece. But I think and it may even be good to go through with the client, but we're talking about internally.
Yes, internally. Right. You're going through to see, okay, where did I mess up? Or where was the client kind of confused? And you're like, oh, crap, I did not explain that very well.
That's good.
And like we have on the slide, it's like you learn, you adjust, repeat. Learn, adjust, repeat. And tweak.
Yeah. And here's the thing that you said earlier. I don't know where it is in your notes, and I hope I'm not getting ahead, but there's not just from the perspective of serving the client well, also from the perspective of I should have charged more. I mean this seriously, because we have this very scenario right now with this one client where we did considerably more, and it's not because we didn't know that we were agreeing to this. I guess we didn't factor in that. Okay, so for websites, and Deborah is in this space, right? So when you're doing a website, that's one, we did this particular client, we did a 2-page scenario, but then this client also was doing a conference. And so the 2 pages included the conference, but then there's the offer page. There's another offer page. Then there's a third offer page. And every one of those pages have to be designed and bannered and all this other stuff. And then there's a course, and every module of the course has a page that has to be designed. And we just kind of said to ourselves, like,
it's a lot more.
That was more than what we had anticipated. Now, I got to be honest with you. I don't like missing comments. So
we're going to go back out and get those comments.
I'm going back to this comment because Monica is chatting with us, and she says, what went well? Grant writing course. Come on. What went wrong? Assistant grant writing. High turnover in my business.
Oh, man. Wow. Word. High turnover. I hear you, man.
And these are opportunities. These are opportunities, and I love these are opportunities that we don't want to miss in business. Monica, thank you for sharing that. I see Deborah has a comment here as well. Funnel pages, yes, you have to factor in those extra pages. See, that's it's a learning, because this was we don't normally do these types of sites. We normally do
easy,
WordPress, straightforward sites. We don't do the whole ClickFunnels or any of that stuff. But
this was
something new that we were doing, and we liked it. We liked it, but we will be charging differently. And it's not the client's fault. It's us to realize, and that's what the slide is saying. You learn. Now is the time to adjust before the next client, and then let's go in again.
Yeah.
And hopefully we do get more, and I think we will if we advertise this one correctly, because real talk, this has been a very successful engagement. Let me just put it that way. It's been a very successful engagement, so we're excited about that. Next slide.
Next slide. Yeah.
Okay. Reflection post project,
and we kind of touched on it already, though. We kind of did.
And we talked about what to review and what went well, client satisfaction, feedback, testimonials.
Did the project scope match the effort? We literally just talked about that.
Did it match the effort? Come on.
If you need to charge more.
You feel it. You feel it in your gut, in your belly, in your shanana. You feel it. You're like, no. That wasn't quite right.
Yes.
I should have charged more for that. Yes. And it isn't, again, it's nothing, no malice to your existing client. It's a reflection. It's an aha moment for you. And that is actually of crazy, ridiculous benefit, I think, as you go forward. So that's good. Okay. Next slide.
Jump. Now, how to gather those insights?
Come on, talk about it.
There are many ways. Many ways. Client surveys are really a great way to do that. Or you can do like a post-project call with that client just to get some feedback from them to say, how was this entire process? What do you think should have changed? Was there anything confusing in that process? Like, how could we make this smoother for you as a client? So you can do that via, surveys, like I said, having a post interview with the client. What else do you think?
No, surveys and post interviews with client, but I think also,
if you have a team, definitely have that team meeting to talk with them to say, see what it was internally as well. If you have a team.
Yeah. If you have a team, definitely chat with them as well. But I think the other thing is, so all of those pieces are on one side of the ball, but on the other side of the ball is the end product, right? So what was delivered, and really taking a look at it as a consumer, right? So, okay, from a consumer perspective, right? I like to do this, especially for content creators that I'm coaching, whatever it is. Now look at it from somebody who's blank.
Yeah.
Right? Look at it from who's somebody who this was intended for. Did it really meet the need?
Yeah.
Did it, did we hit the mark? And what could you have done if you recognize there's some things that we didn't quite realize, right? We didn't quite deliver on, because some of these things are not even deliverables that a client would ask you for. It's just you kind of recognizing like, okay, the better I can understand this industry, especially as I'm serving these particular clients, the better I can, the more integrated I am with them, the better I can serve them. So,
and we got some comments.
Yeah. Wow.
So Monica says
surveys, reviews, assessments. Right.
That's good.
Right. Let's go back to comments. Let's get comments up there. There we go. And then Deborah says, I was going to say, if you have a team, there you go. That is my challenge, following up with the extra follow-up, because clients tend to take up a lot of your time.
That's true.
And it's true. Because, listen, you ain't gonna find no argument from us. The clients take up a lot of time. Clients take up a lot of time. But I think recognizing that there are other ways to, and that's exactly what you're saying exactly what I was going to. I need an assistant to do some of the surveys. And this is what I was saying. There are some ways an assistant can do it, but there are some AI type ways, and there's some platform type ways. So there's some automation things.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you're using a CRM, CRM, you just check a box. I'm assuming, because I don't really have one yet. I'm working on that.
Yeah, go high level.
And it would automatically send out that survey or whatever you want that client to kind of fill out for you to get that feedback.
Go High Level is a one platform that I was just recently told about. I have a platform for my coaching clients that I'm able to put notes in. They're able to put notes in, and then we have a section that's shared notes. Nice. So if there are notes that I want them to see, I put them there, and there are notes that I want to keep for myself. This guy is habitually late, stuff like that. I don't want them to see that, but I need to be reminded of that. I
kind of have that in an Excel sheet.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, for that client that I know is like a long talker, I will literally start the session by saying, "Hey, I have a hard stop." You feel me? Because that note helps me. So I'm just saying there are some automated ways to be able to get around it, even ahead of getting a physical assistant. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't procrastinate on getting the assistant. Like, let's normalize getting the help. Let's as business owners, as small business, let's normalize getting the help, bringing on somebody. Even from an hourly rate standpoint, we're doing some good work with Upwork right now.
To get that help.
Let's normalize that bad boy, because right now, it's interesting. Yeah. Now, once you have done some of the review, you want to be able to turn some of your insights, right? Some of those aha moments into
pretty much actionable items. Like, what are those things you're going to start tweaking? Like the emails you send out to clients. Maybe that's one thing you might need to update. I know for me, I need to do that. Especially after having one client that I just had. I'm like, oop, I forgot to add this in my templated email that I send out to the client. So stuff like that, you want to be able to update those right away. You don't want to wait.
You don't want to wait on those. You don't want to wait on those. I see Deborah says she could probably do it with HoneyBook or with a smart form. And then Monica says use college or high school students as interns. I'm going to tell you right now, I deputize our kids all the time. My son didn't even know he was coming with me to help build a studio this past Friday. But when he saw the pay, he was like, well, holla glory, because he's got some things he's trying to save towards. So definitely agree with finding help in some creative ways before having to bring on somebody full time. But let me be clear, man. The only way you know if you need to bring on somebody full time is if you take the incremental steps.
Yes.
So I think there's a mistake that we've made in our business is just kind of gritting and doing it for as long as we have, because I really believe that you are robbing yourself from more higher level functions in your business that you, the owner, can only do. Like no one else can do that but you. And these menial tasks, they can get done by somebody else.
Like you really don't have time to do the strategy part of the business that you really should be doing as the owner of the business. And that's what I'm realizing now as I'm going through the Goldman Sachs program. Like they're like, you need to start putting some stuff on other people to do so that you can focus on strategizing and how you can build and grow your business. Absolutely. You guys are having some really good back and forth in the chat as well. We're trying to land though. So I'm gonna leave this slide up because quite literally it can sometimes be a balancing act. Yes. It's a balancing act between, because not every insight, not every everything that you notice or you recognize from a particular client engagement needs to be added to your process. So you need to pick like one or two things and go with that. Because for some people, especially what I realized, but again, in what the program I'm going through, I'm very analytical in some ways. And when I see different things, I get paralyzed sort of. Like it's so much that I'm like, I don't know what step to go. I don't know what to do next. And for some people that can be that paralysis where you really just need to just focus on like one or two things. Right. So that you don't get overwhelmed by all the different things that you see you need to do. Just focus on one thing. Yeah. Let's knock out this thing. And then before you know it, the dominoes start to fall. Yes. And I'm constantly trying to figure out what is that big domino that if I get that one, these other ones will fall. But there's no truth. There's none of them are bigger than the other. The momentum from getting a W in one thing rolls into the next one. Like, oh, let me do this. Oh man, if I do that, then all I have is this left. Let me do that. And before you know it, that joint is knocked out. So balancing between understanding what that process is, but also recognizing that this is good feedback. These are good takeaways. This is an experience is its own benefit. Yes, like you get experience. And then if you can systematically and incrementally improve, if you can get a little bit better today, every day, you'll be a whole different person. For real. And Deborah has left a comment there too. Oh, come on, Deborah. She says, my takeaway from the last session is to be disciplined in my process, my time and my life. That's good. Let me tell you, it will roll over into those areas. Yes, it will. Right? Discipline. This is one of the reasons I tell people this all the time. I work out for two reasons, not for a chiseled body, to be quite clear. I work out because of the discipline and because if I don't work out, I'll be a blimp. And so those two motivators, but I work out because that discipline, when I work out early in the morning, it literally, it permeates every other aspect of my day. It rolls into my worship. It rolls into my diet, rolls into my work. It rolls into my family time. When I'm disciplined early, oh man, it's a cheat code for life. So I could not agree with you more, Deborah, on that one. And I don't even know. Do we have any more? And another thing. You should keep what do you call it? Like a log of the different things that you have changed. So that a change log. Yes, right? A change log. Like you have been doing this thing for so long. Thing, and you're like, why did I start doing this? Yeah. And you would already have a log showing you, okay, that's why I did that. Okay, we're going to keep that. Yes. We're not going to get rid of that. No, and that's so good. Yeah. And then when you have major changes to your processes, you definitely want to be checking that stuff quarterly, just to do I forgot the word, but just to do like an audit to see how well it's been going. Absolutely. If you should still do that thing, or like, hey, it's gone through its own process. Yes. Now. Yeah. Maybe we can move on from that now. Yeah. Yeah. The word says that there came a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph. And so it's essentially the same scenario, because it's like, who are these people? How did they get here?
Why did we let them have this entire portion of our kingdom that has all the great pasture land? Like, they're bigger than us. Why did we do this? And because there is no change log, nobody
was writing that down.
Nobody took down like, my guy, we did this. We did this. These are our people. We like them. Nobody did that. And so because you'll get it. Listen, this is how sometimes you will. You know, they say history will repeat itself because we forget. I'm just thinking about
what's happening right now.
I was just saying, that's all I'm thinking about is current events right now. Because we erase and we're selective and we have our version of our truth, not the truth, because the truth doesn't serve us. So because we erase it, we're doomed to repeat that bad boy because we don't know why things were set up the way that they were set up.
Oh, so my goodness.
Forget. It's like we came to this country for religious. Let me go back. All right, IRL. This is our last slide.
In real life. So, we didn't have a guest, but, we're going to give our story. So I've had my proposal document that I've been using for years now. And I met with a client and he asked me one or two questions and I realized, oh, wow, that's not like detailed enough in there. Yeah. And in order for me to not have to answer that question multiple times, I need to update my proposal. Yeah. So last week, that's what I've been doing. I went back through my proposal like with a fine-tooth comb just to make sure, okay, I might need to explain this a bit more. Right. Okay, I need to break this down a little bit. I need to expand, show what these different offerings are, what it means, so that it's very clear. I want it to be as detailed as possible so that they will not have to come back with questions, because you want to have everything kind of upfront for the client.
You don't want them to be out there searching for it.
Yeah.
But I will say that, what clients read the whole thing, that's neither here nor there.
It's not often, but it depends on the client. Depending on the type of client, they are very analytical and they want to get into it. And that client is what I'm dealing with right now. So and
I will say that whenever you put contract on anything, people tend to start reading. It's like, it's the contract? I have to sign this? Hold on. Let me. That's when they start reading. But no, this is absolutely this is a great story because it helps to streamline the process. It helps to make it smoother. You are thinking about your future client.
Yes.
And this is another thing that we've been dealing with folks on our own channel is like on my own channel in terms of content creation. It's the question of, am I worth the investment? Am I worth the investment of time and energy? Like, the only reason why you would go back and edit your contract and edit your intake documents and edit your process is because you are expecting to have more clients. And see, that's the challenge for some. They're not expecting to have more. So it's like, I'm not going to go change that because I don't really know when my next client is coming, or I don't believe that a next client is coming. Or in the worst case scenario, I'm not worth the effort it takes to update these things because people aren't going to come and patronize me. And these are the pieces that people struggle with. And I'm going to be clear, y'all, like, people can tell in business that you don't believe in your own product. Yeah. They can tell by the way you charge. They can tell by the way you handle your processes. Your everything is janky. It's chewing gum. It's rubber band. It's duct tape. It's just held together by a chain. They can tell. And I'm not saying you don't start scrappy. I'm saying have a process. Yes. Have a particular standard with how you do the things you do. Listen, I know people who are earning millions with a Google Form and Zoom. I'm serious about this. They have no other platforms. Google Form and Zoom. They are making millions. Hey, I know this. I know that for a fact.
If it works.
But their stuff is tight. Don't get it twisted. Their stuff is tight. And their follow-up and they have put money in other things, not necessarily systems. Yeah. But it's literally, I was shocked. I'm like, hey, this is a Google Form? Like, if it works. Snap. And the Google Form look a little different too. If I could be honest, it's a little bit at another level. Okay, a couple of comments here. Read these.
Oh, I have my phone. It's okay.
Okay.
So we've got.
Come on.
I'm a little blind.
All right. So
Deborah says, I had one like that, Kanique. That was something he specialized in. So he was gracious and went through the whole contract with me because truthfully, I didn't know half the stuff that was in the contract.
Wow.
I hear you, sis. Wow. I hear you, sis.
Yo, this is what I keep on saying to folks is like every now and again, like I produce shows for clients, and what God will do is when he's trying to teach me something new, he'll give me a client who's an expert in that area that I need to learn. This is what I know to this. I say this to people all the time. It's like, whoa, man, you would never go back to work for for 9 to 5. Never, because the way entrepreneurship is set up, the randomness of it, the fact that I can't necessarily control who's going to book a discovery call. I have a discovery call for tomorrow. I don't even know how they got on my calendar. And it's those kinds of things that I absolutely love because I don't know what God is doing. And I feel like it, being an entrepreneur just kind of gives God permission. I know. We're being a lot more preachy tonight than I'm than usual. I'm unapologetic. I'm a believer. So this is you gonna get this. If it's not you gonna get a little Jesus. You gonna rub up on a little Jesus when you come to Incubator's couch. And listen, that's how it works anyway. But those are the pieces I just feel like, man, I love that aspect of it. You got a client that knows contracts. They turn around, help you do some stuff on your contract.
I love that. That's really cool.
I love that. I was telling Kanique, there's a podcast I was watching. They were talking about the Jewish community, and they were saying that in the Jewish community they don't do, and I don't know how if this is still the case, but historically, culturally, they don't do anything that they're not experts in. So if they're not an expert in finances and taxes and all that stuff, they will pay somebody who is the expert in their community.
Wow.
Because that's how they keep the dollar flowing in their community. And they themselves are an expert in something. And so that dollar will come back to them.
Yes.
So you have the website, this guy has the contract. And so you see,
love that.
That's the ebb and the flow of it. It's like, well, he's the expert in the contract. So of course he's going to be able to help you tweak that thing, but you're the expert in the website. And so of course you're going to be able to help him get across the line with that thing. Yes. This is why I love being in business. Listen, I love being in business. Okay. What y'all got? Yeah. We'll take it preachy. We'll take it preachy. I love that, Deborah. Monica, I can't thank you enough for coming and hanging out with us tonight as well.
Through, sis.
It's been awesome to have you with us. I know one or two others are there. You haven't chimed in the chat, but that's okay. That's okay. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for being with us tonight. This is what we had for tonight. Is we want to kind of walk through that process of continuous improvement and how we can continue systematically, methodically level up. Improve our processes, serve our clients even better. I was sharing with I'm trying my best not to go off the deep end with the religious stuff tonight, but I was sharing with a client. I was like, we pray over our clients. And he's like, well, I'm not really a person of faith, but I kind of like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not what I expected him to do.
Oh, he said, I kind of like that. Now, I didn't necessarily pray with him, but I was like, I wasn't even speaking of him. I was just saying in general, we pray over our clients. And he said, I kind of like that.
No, we be praying.
Oh, yeah.
And we got the kids praying too.
Yeah.
Because they know if a client get on our nerves, they're going to hear about it.
Who is that? Family, we want to get your feedback tonight before we close it out. Always good to come through. While you're putting your takeaways, your feedback, even if you've got a client horror story that you want to share in the chat real quick, please feel free to do that. But while you're doing that, I did want to kind of let you know that what the format's going to be going forward. Actually, this is going to be the format for the live streams.
Yes.
We're going to be doing more of our own, just us on the couch, speaking to camera, live, hanging out with you guys, talking about different things that happen in business.
And then we are going to have the guest, the podcast side of it
style, right?
That we're going to pre-record and then we're going to
release those, right? So, probably like every other week, 1 week live, 1 week podcast, 1 week live, 1 week podcast. That'll be kind of we'll figure out what that rhythm looks like.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know. But season 3 is not going to stop here. Yeah. You will see more content dropping on the channel. You will see more interviews in terms of, podcast style and people sharing their stories. This chair will be full. There it is.
One of us will be in the chair.
Somebody will be in this chair.
They will be on the couch. Okay?
Yes, we will put them on the couch.
They'll be on the couch.
We'll put them probably in, I don't know, one of these seats.
Whichever
side. We'll put them on the couch so that somebody else will be in the chair. Mm-hmm. And I can pull my glasses down and say, so how did that make you feel?
That chair is perfect for that. You got to put your leg.
Oh, it's priceless. That's priceless.
But anyway, we thank y'all for joining us for another episode of the Incubator's Couch, which is unscripted, vulnerable conversations with
business owners and entrepreneurs just like you. And we have one last comment from Monica Montgomery. She says, takeaway, show your clients what to do and where to go for efficient funnels. Yes. I like that. Learn, adjust, repeat. What matters, Deborah says. Gary is laughing at us. I love that. Reflection after each after each project. Reflection after each project.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
There it is. Reflection after each. Oh,
LOL. I got the LOL.
I got the LOL. Okay.
Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all so much.
Truly appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out with us tonight. Always good. But listen, fam, make it a great one. We pray for you as well. I just want you to know, pray for you and your business, that it would thrive, that it would absolutely blow your mind, like that things will work out in such a way that you would be like, I've got to hire on 20, 30 people because this thing has just completely ballooned into something I'd never imagined. So and I think that these principles that we share here on this channel are those that we have found from our experiences that we don't want to be stingy with. You know what I'm saying?
We're just sharing.
Want to share them with you, and we hope that they help to give you some insight and perspective for your own business as well. Be blessed, family. I'm looking for the outro button. I don't see it. Oh, there it is.
Bye, y'all.
Later.